Welcome to Everyone Knows a Dave. This week we're going to look at a much maligned tent called the Naturehike Spire. It's a one person tent, pretty big one person tent. It has an odd shaped interior, but actually there's a couple of tricks you can do and a couple of changes you can make to this to make it so much more habitable and enjoyable sleeping in. There's been one of the problems with this tent is that the inner tent is so droopy and it's not really attached in any way to the outer tent to give it tension. So I've made a few changes to this one to show how to improve the tension on the inner tent. I'm also going to do a quick tutorial, if you like, on how to set this tent up and some tricks and tips to set this tent up, because it can be tricky to get it all level. So I'm going to show you how to set it up, and so hopefully you'll enjoy using your Spire and not think about consigning it to the trash bin or selling it on eBay. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video on how to set it up. Okay, well, let's get started. So this is the original bag, the original size bag that the tent came in, and after you've tried to struggle to try and get it back in and squeezed and crushed it in and took 20 minutes to try and get it back in, you think to yourself, why did I even bother with this tent? But what you need to get yourself is one of these larger stuff sacks like this, and you can still squeeze out the air of it and get it down to a smaller size from inside your backpack, but trying to get it back into here is just next to impossible. It does come with a set of instructions on the inside. These are a bit squished up, but it does come with a set of instructions on the inside, and they're not bad, but I think there's a few tricks on these pyramid tents that people are learning about, and I'm gonna show you about those right now. Okay. These are the tent pegs that come with the tent. You can see they're a nice product. They've got a little twist in the end of them, which helps them go in. They're aluminum, they're not titanium, but they're very light. But I also have included for the door area, for the vestibule area, one longer one from I think I bought this one at Walmart. They were like $1.99 each. Again, it's aluminum, doesn't have much weight to it, but it does help secure the door area, which is the one that gets the most amount of usage. So the little ones you can use for the rest of the tent, but I would recommend that you use a bigger one for the vestibule area. So they say on the instructions that you can set your your trekking poles between 125 and 130 centimeters. I tend to use 125. I think it's just easier. I suppose 130, if you could do that if it was really really hot and you wanted a lot of ventilation, but I tend to find 125 is just the perfect length. So when I start laying this tent out for putting up, what I do first, actually I've left the pegs in for when I had it set up before, but what I do is what you do is you set it up in a triangle first. And so what you do is you set up the back two, need to be in there, the back two pegs. You don't put the other pegs in, just put the back two in for now, right? And make sure that they're coming out straight out and following the line of the tent here, straight down the line of the tent best you can. So to get going, so you take your pole, So now you've got the three the front and the back pegged down. It forms a three-sided pyramid, and the important piece is getting this triangle at the back here correct, and that's pretty common for all of these pyramid tents, and even the half pyramid tents are free, like the Lanshan 1. This is the way you would set up a Lanshan 1 too. Just self-support, shouldn't be a problem, and then we can start putting in the other corners of the tent. Let's start on this one. Just put it in. Just tighten it a little bit. So now we've got all four corners of the tent installed. We can also put in the center ones, and then that's pretty much the tent up, and that's how quick it is. Also, there's some vents here with these little tabs. You can unfold those, just create a little cup up here. There's some vent areas up here. So yeah, so just go around on the corner and the center pieces and just put up. There you go, and the other ones as well. And the other, when you tension the tent, make sure this door is closed and it's hooked up there. That means you won't have any difficulties closing the door. So now you can go around and tension all of the very easy to loosen the tension on these. Just give it a little pull. As I said, I left the pegs in from before, but it's straightforward. Tug. Now see how this line here, the line is going to be perfectly straight with these lines, and the same on all the corners. So yeah. So now pretty much we've got the tent up. I'll show you underneath there. So that's up underneath those vents up there. So now we've got the tent up. We've got the inner on the inside of the tent. Now we could go in and set up the inner, and so let's just put this one on as well. So you can see that this tent is very easy to set up, even in the rain. So and it's almost as long as you get the tent lines following dead straight like that, you get a really clean setup. We just like that. Flip that over there. You can put it back if you want. I'm just going to flip it over there for now. You can see I've just got the inner tent just laid out on the floor. Now, a couple of the improvements I've made, I'm going to show you right now. And they are over there and over there. Here you can see I've put a little rubber bead inside there and connected the piece of paracord, thin paracord, to the outside tensioner. It's about 3-4 inches long. You can experiment with the length, but from there to there, I'd say about 4 inches long. So what this is going to do is going to help pull the tent out. I've done the same over here, same sort of thing. Just trapped a little rubber bead inside the thing, and just put it, and that's actually a little shorter piece, maybe 3 inches long. Again, you can experiment with the length, but it's very easy to do. Just tie a couple of loops and just tighten, just put the bead inside, and there you have it. So another thing I've done here is I've shortened this hook here because you can't get enough height on this. To shorten this hook, we're going to need to drill a 1/8 inch hole through here, and then cut across here and just tidy it up. That will, because at the moment the line that comes from the inner tent goes down to here, and so that is going to take nearly 1/2 inch off the tensioning piece inside the tent. So we're going to do that now, and we're going to give it a try. Simple as that. Okay, now I'm going to clean it up and I'll show you when I'm finished. Okay, so there's the finished product. I've also sanded off any sharp edges which could, you know, rip the fabric of the tent. I've also kind of chamfered the center of the hole a little bit just to take the sharp edges off there as well, although I'm pretty confident the paracord will hold up in the center, the small paracord. So okay, so that's how you shorten that hook loop on the spire. Okay, so that's the finished loop here. So now we can put it up inside on there's a little plastic ring up there to tension the inner net. Okay, that's the tent nicely tensioned. As you can see, the catenary is pretty nice. Some of that creasing will come out once the once you get a bit of sun on the tent. You may have to tension it again, and you may have to tension it again overnight. Ideally, you want the inner and outer tent looking like that. Right, so there's just a little bit of strap showing. Same here, same here. Here's that tensioner from the outside. You can just see it attached to the inner tent that I've put on, just looped around the connector. It's just 4 inches long on there, 3 inches on the side, so pretty straightforward. So let's go in and have a look at the inner tent. As you can see, now it's tensioned nicely. That inner tent is well away from you. It's not drooping you on your tool. The bathtub is still perfectly fine. The bathtub on these isn't great. It's only about 2 or 3 inches. If you've enjoyed my video about the Naturehike Spire, please like, share and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel right at the moment, so any help you can give will be greatly appreciated. Thank you, goodbye.